Hey guys, Chad Close here. Today I'm gonna talk about how to make a pop dispenser, like one that you would see in like a fast food restaurant or something like that. This is what the basic we're gonna go for. So let's get started. Since I'm doing on a dual monitor, I'm just gonna have this on the bottom so I can use it for reference, and then I'll model up where you guys can see, obviously. So we're just gonna use the default cube, and we're gonna grab it up and move it along the z-axis up one. Look on the front view on ortho, and then we're going to scale along the x-axis to about right there. And then we're going to go on the side, scale that along the y to about there. And then we are going to add an edge loop in right here. I'm going to bring it down because if you look at this photo right here, it has this section popping out. If you look really closely, there is like a seam right there, and it is a separate box. It's welded on, so we can actually just do that, and when we extrude it out, we can just extrude it in a little bit or scale it in right away, and that should get what we're looking for. And I should probably put limits on. So we have the basic extrude, and we're gonna try, we'll add an edge loop in right here, and then we'll select these, and then we'll scale it along the x-axis in a little bit, and now it looks like there's that weld right there. And if you look at the picture, the front kind of wraps around right there, so we don't really have to put the weld up there, and below you're not going to see the bottom ever, so that's not a big deal. So after we have that taken care of, actually, as you can see, the edges are actually round, so let's just add a subsurface modifier to this, and that brings everything to hell. But we can just add some edge loops in here and make it all better. Just add an edge loops on the areas that need it, and then just bring it over. I'm not going to bring it all the way over because then there would be doubles, and doubles are bad. It's just something you should try to stay away from when you're modeling, especially if you're going to unwrap things and start texturing. It's more of a pain to deal with. Let's set it all to smooth, and yeah, that looks fine. Since it's going to be a metal, we're going to want smooth anyways. It'll get a better finish. Let's add one right here. That should help that bottom seam. And actually, since this front kind of wraps down, if you remember, right here, we'll get that going on right now. What we'll do is take this off, delete this face, grab this edge, and then just grab that out. We're gonna have to add an edge loop in here, I think. Another one. So that kind of worked, kind of didn't. Looks like it made some new faces that we don't really want. We don't really want that face. Actually, let's just go in here. Let's add an edge loop right down the middle. Select everything on this line, make sure the limits are on. And we're just going to delete everything, and then we're going to add a mirror modifier to X, and then enable clipping. So now we don't have to do everything twice. Bring that over a little. We got a little. If you see this bowing right here, and that's because the subsurface modifier is above the mirror modifier, so you can just bump that up. and that still didn't work. Alright, there we go. Just gotta do the clipping. But if you bring it down and up, it's doing the subdivision and then the mirror. So that's why it does this, because technically it's rounding this edge off, because this is what the subsurface is looking like. And then when you add the mirror, it just mirrors that exact thing, and we don't actually want that. We want it to mirror it, and then do the subsurface. So there we go with that. And if we get that connected, that'll fix that. So there we go. We have the basic metal shape. Let's bring up the picture and see what we should do next. Let's put the ice curtain on next right here. So what we can do is just go in here, go into face mode, deselect limits. We're going to click this and this. Shift duplicate, Control V, separate, selection. Go click that. Let's go back into vertice. Bring this up to about there. Let's see the picture. That looks about right there. And the top actually goes, we'll just do that for right now. And then we're going to click these two, delete edge loop, so it's just one plain face. And delete those. Make sure that's our clipping. Select it all. Go to the side view by hitting 3. Extrude it out. About that far. It goes out a little over the bottom dispensing area. Actually, I'm just going to bring that out a little more. Making sure I have limits applied. Alright, let's just add some edge loops in here. There's actually a rounded top on it, so it's actually going to look more boxy, I guess, or rounded, more or less. So looking alright. We're gonna add another edge loop in right here, and we're gonna select these and move it up to get a bowing effect. I'm just looking at the other picture, and it looks like the decal, this Coca-Cola decal right there. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's not very zoomed in, but there's an indent there where the decal goes. So what we can do actually is just select where the decal is going to go. And we're going to add an edge loop right here. Extrude it and scale it in a little. And then we're going to add an edge loop in here to make that really fine and noticeable. Alright, so we have that indent where the decal is going to go. Oop. Edit mode. My recorder timed out. Let's see what this does. If we add in 2 edge loops here, then scale them along the z-axis and just really refine that. So now we can really just put that decal right there, and it'll look pretty good. Alright, so let's look at the picture again. I can't see that far. It looks like there's a plastic top on top, so we can make that next. So we can just go into this. We're going to go into vertex mode. We're going to click the the corners of the main box. I'm not going to get the refining edge loops. And then shift duplicate, right click to put it where it is, and then just separate by selection. In edit mode, F to fill. Extrude that up along the Z axis. Not too much. Let's get clipping going over here. There we go. Add some edge loops. Make it look a little better. And then any of the clipping is actually going right now. Alright, there we go. Maybe not. Clipping. Why is it doing that? I don't know. So we'll just add an edge loop in, and that'll take care of it. Bring this over, and it actually goes over it all, so what we can just do, instead of making it too complicated, I'm using more. Control 1, look at the back. You can just select it all, and then 7, scale it a little bit, and then just move it down so it looks like it's over it, and there's that edge going right there. Alright. More doubles. I don't know why it's getting that black shimmer, but I think it's fine for right now. I don't know why though. It's just not, I don't know. The mirror is just not doing very good right now. I don't know. Well, we'll just keep going. Maybe the render will turn out fine, I'm sure. So let's look at this. So we got this going, we got that, we got the main metal. Let's make this grate down here, this plastic grate. So by doing that, let's go in here. Let's go back to this main metal one, and let's select these faces. E to extrude, and then bring them down decently far. And then let's delete this face. We don't need that there. What this is going to do is we're not actually going to model anything on this surface, but what we will do is if we put an insert here and then we had that plastic thing, you'd see this bottom face right here, and it just wouldn't look good. And I definitely hit the wrong button there. I'm trying to hit 1. I have all my keys, my finger over a little too much. And it's messing with the keys. Alright, let's go into this, take off limits. We're going to want all these faces selected right there. Where's this picture? And then let's shift duplicate them, separate by selection, grab them, and then what shall we do here? Go into tab mode. Probably should have got the back faces too, but it should be fine. Select this inside face, let's scale it in a little bit, and then E to Z. And then let's take this face, actually, let's delete these. We don't need this edge loop right here. At least for right now, we don't. And let's clean this up too. We don't want this, we don't want this. We want this to be a face. Doubles. Let's actually just delete this object and do it again. Sorry about this. Go on this face, this point, I mean. Get Z and you get that face. And these two. And that. Yeah. Shift duplicate. Separate by selection. If we could select them, I would. Alright. Select these, fill. Select these and these. Fill those, and then select this one. Fill that. Select these. Extrude it. Scale it in a little bit. These don't actually have to go in that far. And then extrude it down along the Z-axis. A little more. So this is going to collect all the fluid that customers drop because they suck at stopping at the right point, or they want to get as full as possible. Trust me, I know it's annoying. Any other people who work at a restaurant or something like these, people don't know how to use them properly. That's all I have to say on that subject. We're going to grab these outside points. Instead of having this lip here, we're just going to grab them along the Z-axis and scale them in. So now we have that edge right here. I'm in this one. I gotta clean this face up a little bit over here. There we go. I think that's better. And what we can actually do to this one, we will add a solidifier modifier. Maybe we won't. No, we don't need that, I guess. So we have a plastic tray in there now. And we need a grate in here. So what we can do is select these points. Shift duplicate, Alt V, separate by selection. Select that. Fill them. And we will extrude it along the Z-axis up. And we're going to select them all. I extruded it up because otherwise it'll make like an indent instead of actually extruding it, so the bottom wouldn't have a face, or the top wouldn't have a face if I extruded it down. So this way it just works out a little better. And then we'll add a bunch of edge loops in here. Bunch of edge loops. Actually, no, I'm going to show you guys how to use the array modifier. I don't think I've shown you guys how to do that yet. So we'll extrude this along the x-axis, take off clipping, pull this out, pull these vertices. So what we're doing is actually just making one bar, and then we're gonna use a modifier to copy this one bar and make it a bunch. So we're actually gonna we're gonna go into object mode, apply the mirror modifier, and then we're gonna grab it all and move it over to about there, and then up here we'll add array, add a bunch, And we'll put these to 1.1, 1.3, 1.4 maybe. There we go. I like that spacing. So there we go, we have that. And as you can see, it is one too many, so I'll just remove that one. So there we have a grate. Let's save this. Modeling videos. Files. Drink. Dispenser. Dispenser. One. Save that. Alright, let's go back and look at this picture. Zoom out a little. And so we got this, we got that, we have the grate. We'll have to do this still. This is done, this is done, this is done. So let's work on this. So it looks like it's just a simple shape. Doesn't look too complex. Up, over, little bevel in the back. So let's make that. Let's just move our 3D cursor in right here. And we will add a cube, scale it down. And it looks like it's got about that much room. Again, I have the photo open on another screen, so it makes it a lot easier. If you don't have dual monitor, I feel bad for you. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. I feel very bad for you. And it looks like, yeah, we didn't have proportional editing. So, no fear, we're just gonna scale along the y-axis. 0, scale y, 0, scale z, 0, scale z, 0. And we're good again. Grab this. It's got about that much room. Put it down a little. And then let's go in here. Delete these vertices. Fill here. Fill here. And fill this face. So now we have the shape that we want. I should probably add a subsurface modifier to it, just to be consistent and make the project just look overall nicer. It's hard to do subsurface with this triangle up here, but we're just gonna have to make it work. I am texting if you have not noticed. And didn't do anything. There we go. I like that look. It's pretty good. Let's add smooth shading. There we go. So next, let's add the dispenser's nozzle. I guess you could put it. Let's go into edit mode. Select this face, shift duplicate, alt B, separate by selection, grab that. Let's go control 7, Z to scale it down. Let's subdivide it. And let's subdivide it again. I'm going to hit W. We're actually going to vertice mode. Delete all the inside ones. Go here. W, loop tool, circle. Put them in a circle. Nice tool. And we want it about there. So what they look like is they go down and then they go down into their nozzle tip. And then we'll just get the inside a little bit. And smooth. Recalculate. we need this to be not on the inside. That to be sharper. This to be sharper. Just adding edge loops to make the faces more defined. And there's actually like ridges, I guess you could say. Ridges on the nozzle. If I could see. Haha. Alright. We're just going to extrude and then scale it out along the X and scale along the Y because we don't want to go on the Z. Just bring the subdivisions up one more time. There we go. So now we have a basic nozzle. So now we have our nozzle in that. Next, we're going to have to put the bottom on. But I'm going to stop here and we'll save that for another video. So this is going to be a two-part tutorial. The next tutorial will finish the rest. We'll add the actual button to dispenser, the ice dispenser we'll add, and then we'll go ahead and texture it, unwrap it, and put some decals on here, and we'll render it in cycles. So stay tuned for that, and have a nice day.